I'm ready. I hope that got your attention. Sure got the deer's attention. Actually, the deer saw my wife and I as we drove the back roads out to DeKald, Texas, to go to the Williams House Museum. You find a lot on the internet about this small town museum. Let me truly express to you that the Williams House Museum in DeKald, Texas is much, much bigger than what you may initially think. The theme of this video is, wow, there are so many unique items, memorabilia, and artifacts within this building alone. My wife and I were looking for something to do. A short day drive in the country. I zigzagged along back roads for a few hours until arriving into DeKalb, Texas. We had a wonderful lunch, then walked a half block to the Williams House Museum, which is way more than one old house. Multiple buildings providing multiple themes of area history, I promise, will interest virtually everyone. You will come to know DeKalb history without a doubt. Furthermore, you will certainly see, possibly touch history from famous musicians, actors, war heroes, steamboats, hand tools, farming and kitchen tools, and heck, even a railroad bridge. And the list goes on and on and on and on. Pay close attention. I highly advise you send them an email and let them know you are going to visit them. While I did this, I really don't think it helped. I noticed that it should be open on Fridays and Saturdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Maybe. My plan was to simply continue my scenic drive if the museum was not open or there was just nobody there. So, have a backup plan if you go to the museum. The Williams House Museum is dedicated to the history of DeKalb, Texas, and the immediate area. They have several buildings filled with amazing and outstanding memorabilia and history. Each building follows a theme designed to illustrate the real past, including innovations that enabled people from years ago to live and prosper. Things I seriously didn't expect to ever see before. I was happily surprised. I think you will be too. The museum has historic items for both young and old to learn about the past and how people lived. We were very lucky that Mr. McCrary was out front doing yard work on a rather steamy and hot summer day. He was more than happy to walk and talk and lead us around this wonderful exhibit. Going through each building was a treat. The museum's main building is the Williams House, built in 1885, where everything started for this museum. Over the years, this building became the focal point for the museum. Gradually, other buildings were opened up as well. I walked through fairly quick since we didn't see anybody there and the lights were off. Obviously, packed with antiques and memorabilia. I didn't feel comfortable lingering without permission or somebody with us. Seemed to be a wealth of interesting things in history, though. Also, having so little light, I wasn't interested in doing anything more than just letting you, the viewer, know that the house seemed to be well worth going through. There is the donation container at the front door. I will tell you more about that after going through the buildings. From the main house, we walked over to the commissary building. The Madison Farms commissary building has quite an assortment of navigation items from the Red River just north of DeKalb, as well as a huge assortment of wild tools of great variety from the old days, much I'd never seen before, and I have seen a lot. When we first arrived, I had actually peeked in the doors without our guide and without lights. I think you can see well enough it is full of wonders to behold. Mr. McCrary, whom gave us our tour, personally hand-planed and installed the beautiful pine wood floors. He built the walls, the trough in the back, and basically all the displays, taking lumber from a local barn. The actual story is very interesting. When I saw the tools, I realized they were very unique, and I really mean that. A horse snow mud shoe, cool machines from the turn of the 1900s, tools for the barn, maintaining farm animals, making windows, weighing and counting items like nails, a meat slicer, and on and on and on and on. Really cool. We spent a fairly long time in the commissary just ogling over all the neat stuff, including Indian artifacts and such. Really a fun building to go through. So much to talk about. You will love it. The Jerry Johnson Pavilion Hall. Just peeking in the front windows of the Jerry Johnson Pavilion Hall, you will see that it contains a unique set of historical artifacts. This is one of two buildings we spent most of our time in. So much to investigate, learn, and talk about. You will see displays for the newspaper and printing shop, post office, steamboating, Indian artifacts, military heroes, famous actors, and musicians, singers. Wow, that's a lot. Mike McCrary was introducing us to the tragic loss of Ricky Nelson, an American pop singer from the 1960s. The plane that he and his group were in crashed on December 31st, 1985. It was suspected that there was a faulty in-cabin heater that started a fire, and it just rapidly spread. Nelson and 6 others, band members and his girlfriend, were all killed, except, weirdly enough, both of the pilots survived. Also included in this lineup, Leadbelly, a superb blues musician that I have very much enjoyed myself listening to his great artistry. He was from just north of town at Beaver Dam. He wrote Midnight Special, a hugely popular song that has been re-recorded by several others. He also wrote Cotton Fields Back Home and a few others. I suggest you check out his music. You seriously might be surprised. And yet another great musician, Al Perkins, Grammy Award-winning Musician of the Year recipient, plus a Texas Steel Guitar Hall of Famer. He was born on a local farm and began playing the Hawaiian steel guitar at 9 years old. He lives now in Nashville, but he still owns the old DeKald family farm. And here's a small movie star, actually a really big dude. This is Hoss Cartwright, played by Dan Blocker. Hoss Cartwright was a old Bonanza TV character. He was born in DeKalb, lived there for a short while, deceased in 1972, and is buried in DeKalb with his mom, dad, and sister. Yeah, he was a big dude. He actually fit in his old Corvette. I thought it was fantastic that the museum has an actual copy of the Bonanza TV series script that Mr. Dan Blocker used himself. Even has notes and drawings in it. Awesome. On the list of really unique artifacts, I was seriously impressed to see this American Indian dugout canoe found just north of DeKalb near Rocky Shoals in the Red River. It was hollowed out by burning and hand hewing. Should be about 200 or more years old. Really an interesting find. I tease you with the newspaper print shop and such, plus the post office display. Very, very good set of antiques to browse over. I found the steamboat history display to be very informative. Just couldn't stop reading the stuff. The Red River map, the almighty natural highway, well, one of them, was amazing, extremely well done, and tells you so much about how the river was utilized and when. I wish I'd gotten you a better picture. I apologize for that. I was just having so much fun looking around on my own. There is so much more in the building, plenty, but I need to get you to the next building. Walking over to the barn, I first took notice of the railroad marker. The bridge is a mock-up of a railroad track. I thought that was a really outstanding idea. In front of the barn are some parking spaces. Very nice. Peeking into the windows provides a hint of the contents. The windows are actually from the old DeKald jail. Useful repurposing of materials that you see much of around the museum. The barn building has many farming and outside working tools, plus other somewhat related items. It is still a work in progress. The 1926 Ford Model T was interesting, seemingly in pretty good condition, although there's the engine sitting out by it. Not something you see too often in a small town museum. My in-laws used a Model A or Model T to do some farming work. Pretty good apparatus to have there in the barn. I quickly hopped over to the 1948 8N Ford tractor, another item rarely seen in small town museums. Also probably very collectible. We did not tour the schoolhouse, so I have nothing to tell you about that. What I do have for you is, well, the reviews. They are typical, as usual, 4.5 or so. The cost is free. Donating to the museum helps keep it open, maintained, and updated. It is much appreciated. You can leave a donation in the house at the front door or by using the internet app. A secure nonprofit fundraising software system allows you to donate as a one-time gift or as a monthly or yearly gift. You will receive a receipt for your donation as well. That's what I did. I donated $50. Hours open mostly Fridays and Saturdays, 1 to 4 p.m. It might take a very fast 30 minutes to browse quickly. Most likely, you'll need a good hour to 3 hours for paying attention to the huge amount of really neat artifacts and collectibles and all that jazz. Really cool. Location. It's located in downtown DeKalb, Texas. 303 East Front Street. Basically, it's just right on Highway 82. You can't miss it. Almost in the crosshairs of Highway 82 and Highway 259, just south of the Red River. In conclusion, such a wonderful collection of historic artifacts at the Williams House Museum in DeKalb, Texas on Highway 82. It is such a surprisingly large museum. It is very well done and logically planned out. We seriously enjoyed our time there. I hope you have a chance to go through it as well. I know you will like it very much. You might consider driving some of the back roads as well. We had a good time, saw some deer, so you might make that part of a backup plan just as we did. And with that, please relax, take it easy, be a motoring fanatic on your road odyssey, and I will see you later. Bye.